Welcome back to Stamping at the Warren, and I'm Kim Tolton, and today we're making a birthday card that was designed for my brother-in-law who's 50 this year, and he's a train driver, so this one really stood out as had to be for him. So for making this card, I'll run through all the supplies that you need. So your card base is a side fold card like this. So still A6 but a card fold. You need a piece of typeset designer series paper that measures 14 centimeters by 10.1 centimeters. You then need a piece of very vanilla cardstock, and that measures 10.1 by 14.4 centimeters. And your card base, you want to trim this to 29.8 centimeters, and then score it in the halfway mark at 14.8 centimeters. And then you just fold so that the ridge is on the inside, and then grab your bone folder and just burnish that fold to make it nice and crisp. All the measurements, all the products will be on my blog, so don't worry too much if it's all a bit fast. So that will be your first matte layer. This is your first matte layer. And then this one goes on top, so like that. So we can do this bit first. So you can do the piece of typeset designer series paper. I'm just going to use fast fuse, but you could use Tombow, which is what I used when I made the original product, or you could use tear and tape. Make sure when you're putting the designer series paper on that you do get the paper the right way round, because it is a side fold. You do need to ensure that the writing is facing in the right direction, otherwise it will bug people. They won't necessarily see what's wrong, but they will know something's not quite right. So that's your card base done. Next is for the train. And actually we need to do that on this bit. This one is for the inside of the card. So we're just going to stamp the train using the Night of Navy ink pad, which is one of the colours from the Regals collection that Stampin' Up provides. And there will be icons, product icons on my website. So that will allow you to click on them, and then you can go browse the Stampin' Up catalogue, or you can put in an order. And there's your little train. Take that off because I'm going to need that for the other one. Right, so the stamp sets that we're going to use. This one comes from from the Traveller stamp set. We've got Remembering Your Birthday. So hopefully you see that. Loads of birthday sentiments on there. Number of Years, again another very good all-round, all-occasion card with all sorts of sentiments and numbers and embellishments. And then Traveller, which is the one that the train comes from. I love these because I'm quite into steampunk and anything Victorian, so I really do enjoy that sort of thing. Just taking my stamp set up there. Okay, so we're going to die cut this. I forgot to mention you will need your clear Wink of Stella brush as well, which Stampin' Up now does, which is a big thumbs up. I'm so thrilled because I do love my Wink of Stella. The glitter is so fine, it's just divine, it really is. So yeah, that's good news for all of us. Okie doke, so pop that through your big shot. If you've got the old acrylic plates, which were very square, the new ones are made from a different type of acrylic. And what's nice is that they actually have a slightly beveled edge on them, which means it's much easier to get them through the big shot. You know, sometimes you used to have a bit of a job guiding everything through and getting it started. Well, these ones I found really makes a big difference to that. So I'm using the Lots of Labels framelits dies to die cut our train. Try and get that as central as you can. And I know it looks like a big die, but because of the size of the train and the smoke and everything, I don't want to lose the details. So I'm using a magnetic platform. You could have just the multi-purpose platform on tab 2, then an acrylic cutting plate, then the stamped image face up, followed by, I don't like that image actually, that's not come out very well, has it? Just seen it, let's stamp that again. I was obviously too busy yakking and not paying enough attention to the stamping. It's very naughty of me. Right, let's stamp again. This time I'll watch as I do it and make sure I do get everything inked up. And if you're in the UK, you will know that today is Mothering Sunday. So my mum will be getting her explosion box today. That's better. Teach me to be yakking too much. Right, let's trim that down and then I can put it through the big shot on the side. Right, start again. So you've got magnetic platform or multi-purpose plate, followed by an acrylic cutting plate, followed by the cardstock with the stamped image face up, and then the die with the blade, cutting blade face down, second acrylic plate, and look, that goes through so easily. And these are the Lots of Labels framelits dies. There we are. It's better. And we'll be doing a bit more die cutting, but I shall put it down there for the moment. Right, so bring in your card base. You want your Wink of Stella brush as well. You're going to be using that for a moment, in a moment. So first of all, you're going to put some Stampin' dimensionals on the back of your die cut train. And just remove the backing. And if you haven't used Stampin' Up dimensionals before, give it a try. For the sake of buying one pack, give it a try. If you're putting in an order, add on some Stampin' dimensionals, because I promise you, once you start using them, you realise they are extremely cost effective, because you don't need to use that many. There you are. There's your train. And Wink of Stella, give it a shake. If it doesn't have a lot of glitter coming out to start off with, just squeeze the chamber until you see it start to move. This, you just want it quite subtle and you're going over where the smoke is. And then this can dry whilst we're doing the other bits. That's that. Next is going to be all the other little bits and pieces. So I'm going to use the back of this And what we need is birthday. Put those there. There it is. So we need the happy birthday, or the birthday, and the banner. And these are from the large numbers foam lit dies pack and the coordinating stamp set that I showed you earlier. I'm using basic black, and the reason for using basic black is obviously you've got black in the background here and it's on very vanilla, so that's the reason why I'm using very vanilla cardstock today. And this will create a little banner, and there's a little die that comes with it. There's your banner, and then your little birthday sentiment, and there's quite a few different sentiments in there. There's THs if you want the bit, and anniversary and all sorts of things, and then you can just add them into the banner, and because they're photopolymer you can see through to pretty much see where you're going. There you are. Now what I'm going to do is just add, once that dries, you don't want to put it through the big shot when it's drying, otherwise you'll get smudges. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to do what I forgot here, which was a bit of sponging around the edges. And I'm going to do it now. And this is just using the Night of Navy just to get that in there again. And the general effect that I want with this is that sort of smoke as a train is in the station. You get all the smoke. You see, I'm old enough to remember steam trains being used on the railway on a day-to-day basis. I may have been young, but those memories stayed with me. I remember going into our local town to go shopping on the train, on the steam train. And as a child it's just fascinating. And then in later years I was able to go to Bluebell Railway, which was also equally awesome. And now you don't want too much. I'm stamping over that banner that we did. Don't overdo it, because you do want it to be a tonal difference to the actual numbers that we're doing and the train. So we're ready to die cut that. And then what I'm missing is a piece of Night of Navy cardstock to do my numbers. So I'm just going to grab that. I'm sorry, I'm very disorganised today. I obviously put it away when I finished in here late last night. And so many things going on in our life at the moment, as I am sure many families are as well. So we're going to do the 50, and we're also going to die cut that banner. Just make sure everything else is tucked away so you don't damage it. And if we do the little banner first, and if ever you find that your dies are not staying where they should, either you are using warped acrylic plate, so the metal isn't able to make contact with the magnet beneath, or the polarity is out a little bit. What can happen is, as we use them, because magnetic platform is made up of many tiny plates, magnets, they can kind of get out of polarity sometimes, and they start twisting around in all sorts of weird ways. And if that happens, just replace, pick up your die and your cardstock and replace it in a different area. Turn the magnetic platform upside down, things like that, and you'll find it will suddenly kick back into action and behave itself. The main culprit though is using warped cutting plates, so do make sure you replace your plates regularly. I find that by rotating them like this between use also minimises that. Just going to move my zero. There we go. When I first started using a die cutter, I was absolutely fascinated with the way images would imprint onto the cutting plates. I found it really intriguing, and it took me a while to get my head around die cutting when I first started. Oh no, my zero dropped somewhere and I can't see it. Right, let's put it back through. Let's put another one in. Just as I put it through, you're going to find that the other one will come up. It's probably going to drop out of my clothing. Yeah, look, there. It's there. Ugh. Okay. Right, let's get this card put together. You can bring your card back in, and using your Stampin' dimensionals, you're actually going to use these little bits around the edges because you can cut them off into smaller sections, and because they are quite thick, they do really well, so you find that they'll go on easily and they're small enough then not to show from the other side. Whereas I can remember using, it would help if I put it on the right side, wouldn't it? Yeah, I can remember oh my goodness, my brain has gone blank. I can remember using sticky fixers sort of bought from well-known craft shop here in the UK, and they either didn't stick or stay stuck, or they were too big, or they were just so small it was virtually impossible to use them. Whereas these, because they're quite thick and robust, one, you don't need many, and secondly, it's really easy to cut them down and use them, which makes life a lot easier. Right, so that's all you need. Can you see there for that 50? You don't need any more than that. And then you do a similar thing on the back of the zero. And you will find that there is a ridge. Where the side with the ridges are is the side, that is the back side. So that's the side you want to put your dimensionals on. And for the zero, that is all you need. So just a couple of small pieces. So decide where you want them. We'll go somewhere like that. Put your 5 on first. And then your 0. This will probably just fit in there. There you go, and you get some really nice dimension there. And I'm just going to use my Wink of Stella brush on the banner here. And by the time I've put the glitter on the numbers, you'll find that this will be dry, because the glitter is so fine, as is the adhesive, or the glaze that goes over the top. It dries within seconds, whereas you know, more what I call glitter glue bottles, you know what I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking, or what brand I'm talking about, but I'm not going to tell you because I prefer this. And when we come back to that, that will be dry. So whilst that is drying, I'm going to now apply glitter. Now can you see not much glue is coming out, so if I squeeze it, I don't know if you can see that, let's see if I can zoom you in. So this chamber here, if I can find it, let's see. Can't find it. No, it's not going to do it. There you go. We got it. Right, so that's your glitter glue. If you squeeze the chamber in the middle, you will see that it pushes the glitter glue through. So when you go back to trying to put your glitter on, it's going to be plenty of it. And I'm just using the clear, but it does also come in gold as well. And even the clear one gives almost a glittery goldish sort of colour, but it is, when it dries, it is clear. 50 is an important celebration. You know, and you go back 100 years or so, and very few people made it to 100. Many had already moved on. So I think we should be celebrating our 50th. I know I celebrated mine. The one I really freaked out about was my 30th for some reason. Now that is dry. There's no glitter coming off, so we're going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on there. Again, I'm just using the edge bits. There we go. And I am going to put, I forgot to put my linen thread on, but we can still poke it on. So just wrap it round 3 fingers a few times, leave a bit of a tail, and then you can give it a twist, a bit like a bow. Wrap one end round, and then you can tie a bow, or tie a knot I should say. Just hold on to both ends, give it a tie, and then you have a little bit of decoration. And we'll put that on with a glue dot. So just press it on, and you can move this around so it equals out. Once the glue dot goes on, it's secured, and just pop that on wherever you want. I think I'm going with down there. There we go, and then this banner can bridge over it. there you go. And that is today's card. I'm so sorry for being so dreadfully disorganised today. My head really is elsewhere. But I'm having to take the opportunity to do my videos as and when I can. Not only are we battling with the internet, but I'm battling with two very unwell parents. So I tell you what I haven't seen. I knew I'd forgotten. I hadn't forgotten. Honest, I hadn't. I had the sentiment for inside the card. Oh dear. And this one came from the Remembering Your Birthday. So basic black onto a piece of very vanilla cardstock that measures 14 by 10.1 centimetres. And this is just the finishing touch really. I don't usually put sentiments in my cards when I do the videos, but I thought I'd make an exception today. So I'm just using archival black ink, and that's this one is But Then I Forgot, so it's a belated birthday. And there's loads of quite fun birthday sentiments in there. And then just put the happy birthday underneath. Bit of fast fuse on the back. And that then goes on the inside of the card. For you to write in your handwritten greeting. Right, now it's finished. Now I'm fine. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's been disjointed, but hopefully you'll bear with me. And the main thing is you get to see how the card is assembled. All the rest of it, just forget. And I'll see you again tomorrow, hopefully with a more organised mind. I'm hoping that tonight my sons and their partners are taking me out for Mother's Day celebration. So I'm hoping that will be what I need, because it has been very intense with one thing and another. And it would be nice to get out and just enjoy myself. And hopefully tomorrow I will come back and do another video with a much clearer head. So thank you so much for putting up with me. All of my social media information is in the show more section under today's video, and please do leave comments in the comment section underneath as well. And all of the sensible tutorial is on my blog, and there's always a link directly from my today's video to my blog post for today's video, so you can just click on there. The alternative is you go up to and click on the little I information button in the top right of my videos. Click on there, you'll see a card come up, click on the card and it will take you straight to today's tutorial on my blog. So lots of ways of finding out and finding me, but essentially if you just do a search for Kim Tolton, I'll ping up all over the place anyway. So thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow with a clearer head. Thanks for watching, bye.